What is up, guys? It's Kyle with Never Hedge here for another course breakdown, bringing you to Memphis, Tennessee, TPC Southwind, where we're here for the FedEx St. Jude Invitational. It's a WGC event. It's going to be a no-cut. We have a great field coming off the Olympics. It is interesting to see some of these guys who have played back-to-back weeks coming from Japan back to the United States over to Memphis. I'm not sure how that travel is going to affect them, especially some of these guys that were in playoffs. It's going to be tough. This is a beautiful course. The winning score last year was -13. It was Justin Thomas. So guys could score, but we're not going to see like the -20s of some of these courses here. There's a lot of water, and the greens are very small. We do see a lot of guys go in the water here. We have an island hole in the 11th and very small green. So we'll get right into it. We'll go to the first hole, which is a par 4, 434 yards. This is going to be slightly uphill, dogleg to the left, fairway bunkers on the right off the tee come into play with your tee shot. You got to watch out for the small, well-bunkered greens. So we zoom in here. Let's get over to the first hole. We see the barren dune right here. You don't want to go in there. But here's the bunkers that they're talking about on the right. Don't want to end up in those bunkers. It is tree-lined, as you can see, and the very tiny green to start off. Right here, you got to imagine par would be a good score to start off. Go to the second hole. With the second hole, we have a par 4, 401 yards. With the second hole, it's a dogleg right. So there are a lot of doglegs here as well. Fairway bunkers on the left off the tee. It's a very small green with 2 bunkers, requires a short iron. So only 400 yards, but it is a dogleg, so you might have to lay up. We'll probably see some golfers, nowadays don't care about laying up. They'll just power it out there and hit it from wherever they are. The bunkers are in play here, and the very small green lined with 2 bunkers as well. Go to the third hole. On the third hole is your first par 5. It's 554 yards. It's almost straightaway with a lake in the middle of the fairway that comes into play on the second shot. This hole will force the golfer to make a decision to either lay up or go for the green on the second shot. This green is deep and narrow and guarded by water on the right and bunkers on the left. So again, we see water in play. Third hole. Gotta love to see it. Look at this. You have this green is guarded. All this water. I'd be in there every single time. You try to avoid the water, you end up going in the bunkers. The green is lengthy but narrow. Hard third hole. It takes us to the fourth, which is a par 3. First par 3 is only 196 yards. It's dead straight. With water short left of the green, this hole is considered one of the most picturesque on the course. Players will hit a 5 or 6 iron depending on the wind. It's very short. Short par 3, dead straight, straightforward hole. That takes us to the fifth. Rolling right along is a par 4, 485 yards. This is going to be a dogleg right off the tee with a large tree on the right side of the fairway that comes into play. The left side of the fairway is lined with spectacular mounds. So let's see if we can see that. We'll zoom in. So there's the tree. That would be in play right here, sticking out. I'm guessing these are the mounds. Don't want to end up in the mounds. Not in the mounds, not in the bunkers, not in the water. A lot going on here. Go to the sixth hole, which is a par 4, 445 yards. It's a slight dogleg to the left with large spectacular mounds on the left side of the fairway and the fairway bunkers to the right. A long drive will require a middle iron approach shot to the well-bunkered green. And that's the story. Is lots of dog legs, rights and lefts. Shot shapers like Bubba would love this course. He's not playing, of course. Not this year. 7th hole, we get a straightaway. Straightaway with large fairway bunker on the left. Requires long tee shot to a large green that is heavily bunkered and set among the mounds again. We got the mounds going on. It's a par 4, 482 yards. Let's see if we can see those mounds. I don't know if we can see it. I'll zoom all the way in. Can't. It's not really showing up on here in Google Maps. Let's go to the 8th. 8th is a par 3. It's a shorter par 3, 178 yards. This requires a short iron off the tee to a wide but narrow green with 2 large bunkers guarding the left side. To the right of the green is a slope that slants sharply onto the green. So sloped green, shorter par 3. Par 3s are my nemesis. I never do well on them in golf. Go to the 9th, finishing up the front 9. We have a par 4, 457 yards. A long dogleg to the right, slightly downhill with the second shot over a lake. Sounds like a nightmare. That is in the front of the green. The players need a lot of length to get in position for their approach to the green. Ideal drive is past a large tree on the right. You can see it. Trees on the right of the fairway to ensure an open shot to the green. This is a difficult hole to round out the front 9. We'll go to the back, start the back, which is across the street. We have a par 4, 465, dogleg left, with water possible coming into play off the tee for long hitters. Some players may opt to go with a 3-wood off the tee instead of a driver. The second shot is over water to a well-bunkered green, accented by trees short of the green. So you see the little river that runs through. You can catch that for some of these longer hitters like Bryson, Dustin. Any of the long guys could reach this thing, so they might opt for a little bit less than driver on the 10th here, start the back 9. And the 11th, my favorite hole, is the island hole. So we have a par 3, 162 yards, smaller version of the famous 17th at Tournament Players Club Sawgrass, but with its own uniqueness. This hole requires a short iron over the water to an island green with a small pot bunker that guards the front edge of the green. So we got the island hole. Always love island holes because there's carnage. Anytime there's this much water, people are going to find it. I know I would. Takes us to the 12th, par 4, 406 yards. This is a dogleg right. Short dogleg to the right with water that extends down the entire right side. Fairway bunkers on the left side of the hole coming to play off a tee. It's a good driving hole. You can try to drive that water. It's going to be very difficult depending on where you decide to cut across. You know, guys try to go deeper and deeper. It's going to be interesting to see what a guy like Bryson does on the 12th. Let's go to the 13th. The 13th is par 4, 472 yards. A good driving hole. The key position on the left side gives the players the best approach to the green, which is well guarded by 4 bunkers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 13th has a bunch of bunkers. Counting 9. Let's go to the 14th. The 14th hole. Water in play again. It's a long par 3, 239 yards. Elevated tee and a full carry over the water to a severely undulated green. This is a very difficult par 3 set among natural amphitheater. So this is going to be one of the harder holes on the course. Long par 3, big time water in play. There's the amphitheater behind. 15th hole. 15th is a par 4, 395 yards. With a beautiful tree-lined fairway, this is fairly short par 4 with a slight dogleg to the left. The second shot is over a creek to a well-bunkered green. Emphasis should be on placement of the tee shot. So you can see the slight bend here over the creek. Those always throw me off, especially gotta hate playing a new course where you don't really know the layout. That's what Google Maps is great for. You can use it in your personal life as well. And here's a little creek. Takes us to the 16th. Another dog leg left. We have a par 5, 530 yards. An uphill par 5 that is reachable in 2. The green is small and well guarded with bunkers. Could be the hole that decides the championship because a birdie or better is going to be likely here. Haven't heard that. It's just a slight dog leg, and it is reachable in 2. There are bunkers everywhere. This course is filled with the hazards. The 17th. This is a par 4, 490 yards, dead straight. We do have the creek involved again, and 6 bunkers guarding the small green. This is a long but downhill hole that requires a lot of length off the tee to set up the second shot over the creek. The long and narrow green is protected by 6 bunkers. So you are going to have to hit a monster drive because you don't want that creek to be in play. You don't even want it to be in your mind heading into the 17th. And then the 18th, which is my second favorite hole on the card, which is a complete dogleg left with water, with the ability to cut across. It's a par 4, 453 yards. It's an excellent finishing hole that places a great demand off the tee. This dogleg left has water that comes into play on the first 2 shots, as well as fairway bunkers on the right. So you can't go to the left and you can't go right. Spectator mounds surround the medium-sized green. So like I was saying, depending on where you want to cut this water, you can lay up. You can lay up over here. But guys are going to try to stretch this. The farther they try to cut, the farther they try to go, easier shot in. And you might need this shot coming in the last day. See the FedEx sign right here, spectators. It's a beautiful finishing hole. It sets up for some excitement, especially if it's a tight race, which you always got to hope it is. It's a beautiful course. Memphis, Tennessee is somewhere I definitely want to go. Haven't been there yet, but it's nice to see it on the Google Maps. Google Maps is awesome. Google Earth, sorry. I keep saying Google Maps. I always do that because I use Google Maps constantly because I don't know where anything is. Can't find directions. But yeah, it's a beautiful course. Can't wait for this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend of golf, great weekend of UFC. Like and subscribe, guys. Thanks.